A pocket survival kit is essential for having essential tools with you just in case you have an immediate emergency, especially if you become separated from your main piece of kit, like a vehicle or something like that. These kits can help you navigate minor injuries, get out of difficult situations, signal for help, increase your chances of survival and rescue. So, a lot of times I tend to DIY these kits. Sometimes it just makes sense to buy the pre-made ones and not go through the hassle of ensuring that you hit all of the marks. And so the biggest thing for me personally, if you're going to get any of these pocket survival kits, is you really don't need them in your pocket. Okay, that's kind of the thing that we'll go with. This is my bigger kind of like DIY survival kit that kind of lives in the armrest of my vehicle. I just put this together recently. And although extensive and it has a lot of usefulness out of it, even if I dare ever dreamed of wanting to put this in a pocket, there's just no way whatsoever this is going in a cargo pocket or anything similar to that. But there are these smaller kits, whether it is from companies such as Randall Adventure Company or Essie's. They own the bigger brand of Essie. They make a pocket survival kit, which I've talked about in the past, or the company where they get a lot of their gear from, they being Essie, is from Glide ASC, Aviation Survival Equipment. And the infancy of this company started when the company themselves, pilots, whenever they fly like private planes, Cessnas, whatever, they're supposed to keep survival equipment in the cockpit. At least this was the story when the company started. And a lot of times pilots were having a hard time sourcing the gear to stay FAA compliant. This company started to sell kits to pilots of survival items they needed while in the air. This is called their pocket survival kit. And they've just evolved to selling stuff to all sorts of people nowadays. They make a lot of stuff in the USA, some stuff they don't make in the USA, but everything is assembled here in the United States. Here, matter of fact, even here in Texas is where they're putting everything together. This is a Boy Scout approved kit. So if you were Scouts of America, they approve kits like this, then it must be a good kit, right? So first thing I notice about it does have this tape around the edge, which is good for a couple of things. Number one, it's good to keep this thing sealed up and watertight. But number two, this stuff here is technically flammable. But the way you normally open these kits is you just remove the tape slowly, and then you could actually reapply this tape later. You can use this tape for other reasons, whatever, but don't cut that tape. Just hold on to it because you can use it for other purposes. So now you get the actual kit itself, and it's very, very, it's actually pretty small. This is about, I mean, it's bigger than the Essie kit. Let's jump in here and see what we got real quick. This is going to cost, I think I bought this for less than $50 on Amazon. It's not a bad price. So first thing you get here is a basic survival tips. I like that they give you this. It'd be nice if it was like waterproof, but a lot of good tips in here. How to use a signal mirror, prepare yourself to survive. It says keep calm, assess your situation. This is actually really good. I like that they provide this to you. It shows you how to use a compass, shows you how to navigate the stars like the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. This is actually some very useful information. Keep that. So right on top, you get a little bit of cordage. Now, this is not 550 test, but it's still going to be good for tying up, whether you're trying to tie up a trap or secure a piece of tent or something like that right at the very top. Everything that's listed in this kit, by the way, is on the back of this. And you're getting, I mean, it looks like you get over 50 items. This is pretty good. So this is not a normal emergency kit. You're getting a lot more than that. This seems to be like a mixture of their survival kits and of their fishing kit that they sell on their website, i.e. right here, you do have hooks. I see, let's just jump into this right quick. So in this little part here, all right, we got some hooks. We have some jigs. We have fishing line. We have a waterproof little thing that keeps this stuff from spoiling, for lack of a better term. They actually give you quite a bit of hooks. I like that. So as if you lose any line and you cut the line, then you're going to be able to continue. And then they give you weights, which I just dropped one. So I see 4 weights at a minimum, different weight strengths. You can combine these. We're going to put this little cat killer pack back in here. So a pretty decent survival little fishing kit. This is nice to have versus trying to put that together yourself. Then you get kind of a makeshift sewing kit. This isn't to sew together your I guess you could use this to sew your ripped pants at these balls you're going to be attending in the fall. But what this is really good for is sewing different items together that weren't designed to be together, right? So making repairs on your clothing, that's why they give you some buttons. But if you had to make a repair on a tent or make a repair to a piece of fabric, to wool or whatever, they give you a lot of safety pins. They give you 2 actual needles. They give you some safety pins to pin into there. And then they give you a bunch of thread, like tons of thread, so you can actually sew the items together. I mean, the only thing you're missing from this little kit is like a cushion to keep your pin. I mean, this is pretty good. But this would be a nice kit to have, even if you're want to sew together someone's trousers or something on the fly. That could happen very, very easily. I'm seeing a saw. Now, this thing about this saw, I've had experience with Best Glide ASC saw. This saw is designed for you to take down like a 2-inch, maybe a 3-inch branch, kind of like in a push-pull method, or a double pull method rather. Their saw is very, very good compared to some of the Chinese saws that you may get in some of these other kits. I wonder if this is made in America, this hand saw itself, because a lot of these are just not using the best components of steel. Sewing kit, rapid rescue whistle. I don't see the saw listed on here because they have everything. Oh no, so the pocket wire saw is made in America. That's good. They have that listed right here. Pocket wire saw made in the USA. That's why I think their stuff is so good. You do get some survival storm matches. Looks like you get at least 10 of those. So that will be useful for starting a fire. Plus they give you a striker. And these are Yukos. That's a made in America brand. So you get some stormproof matches so you can use those. You get a pencil. It's going to be important for a couple of reasons. You can use the shavings from this to start a fire, but also you can use this for writing down, any navigation things or any information or any signs that you see. Write that information down so you can remember it later. You do get all right, so we getting some snare wire, and you can use this for exactly what it said. Snare wire, tie things together at a stronger tension than the cordage. You can cut this. Not really super reusable depending on how you put stuff together, but it is nice to have nonetheless, especially if you're going to be trying to design different traps or whatever. Here's a signal mirror. Now the signal mirror itself actually comes with a small cloth so that you can wipe it back down. This is also flammable if you need it to be. But you bring your eye up to the horizon, you look through the mirror, and you use this to signal, to try to signal a helicopter or anything that you may see off in the horizon. This is designed to get the attention of aircraft or someone that's far away from you without having to yell, because your voice only carries so far, but you can purposely reflect the sun in such a way that it would gain their attention. So that's good. And it's good they give you a little cloth to wipe it down, especially if you're sweaty or you're nervous or whatever. This looks like a little bit of fire starter gel. No, this is actually water purification powders. Use this in 1 liter of water. So you take this thing, you pour it in 1 liter of water, you shake it, you leave it for 7 minutes to cure the toxins in the water. Now it's not going to get the chunky stuff out. You're going to want like a coffee filter for that, but they give you a few of these so you can try to drink some spring water or whatever. Another one of these cat killers in here. You do get some more additional help with fire starting. You can actually rip these apart. This is a lot. So you can rip this apart. It's going to help you with several fires, not just one. You don't have to use this whole thing on one. You can rip it up and use it in multiple uses. So you do have some bandages. Now the thing about these is that these are split. So you can use this if you have a small ouchie boo-boo. They give you larger ones. These are not name brand, but I'm calling them Band-Aids. Okay, they're giving you adhesive bandages for if you need those for whatever reason. 3 of those, so you got 5 in different variants. They give you whirly pack bags. Awesome. So these are good. It's gonna be hard to stuff all this stuff back inside. These are they give you 1 bag, so this is good for that whole. This is at least 1 liter full, so that water purification tabs that they give you, powder they give you, put the water in here. Hopefully you can filter out the chunky stuff. Put the water in here, do that whole method, let it sit in here for 7 minutes. So they're not even expecting you to have your own container. They're giving you a stand-up bag, and these bags stand up on their own. They're giving you a stand-up bag so that you can still get the purification going. They're giving you an emergency whistle with a little split key ring on there so that you can take that cord as you saw earlier. You can put this around your neck so you don't have to go digging it out of your survival kit. And this is going to be at least 120 decibels, and it's by Acme. Acme makes fantastic whistles. Acme is a UK company. They make great whistles. You're definitely going to be able to use that much easier than trying to use your voice. Get a striker and ferro rod along with some cordage. You might want to keep this. This is going to be an important piece of kit to not lose. So definitely want to keep a hold of this. This looks like a very good striker, and they give it to you. So it's very well made. I bet this is made in America. This is very well suited. Feels like you get a lot of strikes out of that. Small button compass. Put it in your hand. Stand still. Let the compass work. This is accurate. North is behind me right now, so the compass works. This is made in Japan. Or you can set it on a surface and let it work. Whatever works for you. What is this? Okay, so you do have wax. These are candles, wax candles. I'm assuming these are long burning, long lasting. And then they're wrapped up so you won't accidentally break them apart into chunks. They give you zip ties. Zip ties can be useful for a number of things, not just waiting around for an emergency. Even though small, you can use these to tie down something that's jiggling on a vehicle or a piece of kit like that. And they give you a small cutting tool. So this kit won't be TSA compliant unless you take this out of the case. Okay, so take this out, maybe take the razor out itself, load up a new one, you get to your next destination. But at least you have a way to cut food, cut cordage or whatever. If you don't have a knife on you, you should have a knife on you, though. I would imagine that if you're watching this channel, you have some type of knife on you. And you get a lens, a fire starting lens. You can use this to help you start a fire. And then you get a little bit of more signal direction help. So that tape that I showed you earlier, you can use some of that tape to try to use for signaling. No one's ever really going to be able to see that, but these are just different signals that you can put above, or they give you Morse code. When would you be doing Morse code? I don't know, but they give you that. And then you get the tin itself, which you should be able to use over a fire. Now, the issue is you're going to have to figure out a way to grip this tin over fire. But even if you set it on a rock and let it kind of the fire kiss it or whatever, you should be able to use this tin with fire. Pretty comprehensive kit. Now, the crazy thing about this is that even with all of this, you still need a way to navigate and to tell the time and to not lose your way because you don't know what's going on. That's where we bring in today's video sponsor, which is Veer and their C5 Tactical Field Watch. Love this watch a lot. If I was in a survival situation, this kit looks like it would be my go-to. This watch would be its kissing companion or its cousin. Big old watch face. You don't have to worry about this thing losing battery like you would with a smartwatch. 6 hours of sunlight gets you 6 months of reserve time with this bad boy. And yes, it's a solar watch, meaning while you're walking to get yourself out of a sticky situation with this survival kit, this watch will be recharging itself in the sun. It has a fantastic quartz movement, a big, beautiful 40 millimeter watch face on this. And the thing is, has a lockdown, screw down crown, meaning that this thing is 2-year water to guarantee because of the way that this thing is built. Sapphire crystal glass on the front, as well as 20 millimeter watch band, so that you can easily swap this out with other bands too that you get in the box, or you can buy any third party and swap those out as well. I think it looks really good. It's really easy to read. And guess what? USA assembled, just like this entire kit and many components in this kit. Check the links down below for the best pricing, and shout out to Ver for sponsoring today's video. This is a very comprehensive kit. Okay. The reason that I straddle the scrotum of Best Glide ASC is because a lot of other companies use their kits to create their stuff. Rando Adventure Kit, when we do our comparison of the two, you're going to see a lot of stuff in this kit that comes from Best Glide ASC. If you get something from other companies as well, you're going to see a lot of Best Glide ASC. Whichever one you go to, get it from a company, okay? Whether it's the MacGyver kits by AQS, if you're getting this kit here, get it from a company that's assembling these kits in America, because even if they're sourcing stuff from foreign sources, they're going to test and know if the equipment is good versus you buying a wholly Chinese sourced and made kit that you see on Amazon. Okay. I'll leave this linked up down below because I think this is a pretty comprehensive kit that it might be useful for you, even if it's just to like sew up a pair of pants at a musical your kiddo is performing in or something like that, or to start a fire in some crazy emergency situation as we enter these winter months. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.